Right, I think I might be live. I'm going to mute YouTube because I know what it's like. Right, yes. And we're live. Good evening to people. It's been 4 years. Did you know that? I've been on this platform for, well, just over a week actually, over 4 years. The week, last week. Technically last week was my 4th week. Oh, that's so annoying, inopportune time to yawn. I'm sorry. I'm not tired or anything, that was just poorly timed. But yes, I've been on this platform for 4 years and I thought, why don't I ramble on for a while about the last 4 years? Before I do that, of course, hello Roger Brown, thank you for the emojis. Hello Back from the Future, Lovebird, Serene. Hello Tiger Lily, hope you're well. Hello Otaka Gamer Judas, Celestial Rogue, Meru, Scott, Rose, Lauren, Sir Bluefooted Booby and Count Dibula, and Doku. Hope you're all doing wonderfully. It is a Monday, of course. Hello Jimmy, and Green Thunder, and Sarah. There's a lot of people. I do apologise if I don't say hello to everyone. I haven't put as much thought into this stream as I would like to have done. Hello, Hammet and Amanda. I'm going to quickly take off my hoodie though, because this is actually too warm. Hello, Stargazer. Stupid warm hoodie. Hello, Gerald. Yes, Cthulhu for MP, that would be a good start. Hello, Doku and Steve. So, I thought perhaps what I'd do is, instead of talking about politics, although it will feature, not as a focal topic. Hello, Jacob and So Psyched. I thought perhaps what I'd do is go back 4 years and explain what was going on then, hello C. Thomas, hello Talon, and Nestle, and explain what brought me to this point, what got me into making content in the first place, what was, hello Absolute Unit, what was the straw that broke the camel's back and convinced me that perhaps I should do this. Hello Keith, and 4 years, thank you. Hello, Duck Dog. But just before I do that, I do remember a few days ago when I was setting this stream up, I noticed I had a super chat from Cyanai. I'm going to say it now, even if you're not here. Thank you for that 99-cent super chat. It put a smile on my face. I didn't realise people could donate days before the stream even started. So yes, hello, I am bassist. And Angel, if I haven't said hello already. I'm for this though. We're gonna have to change what you can see. Hello, Quilled. And I can't show you the very first thing I used instead of an avatar because it was a generic file gone in the blink of an eye. Hello, and hello, Roger Brown. It was created through a program called it was freeware video converter, I believe. Hello, Sir Bluefooted Booby. And it was really handy because what I did for the first ever video I made, I just recorded an audio file of me talking. I could go and find it, but I really don't want to because it actually makes me cringe so much. I know I have it stored on an archive channel. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. And it was really bad. I think I got 2 views in 3 months on that. I used a headset that was over 10 years old. Hello, Ginger. And it was really bad. The mic could pick up breathing from my nose. It was tragic. Then again, I wasn't in a very good place then either. Not, like, house-wise. Still in the same house. More like I was just a year removed from being forced onto self-employment. And I was audiophile, yes. And I was struggling to, pay the bills and just live. I spent about 4 years on my own. Well, I had family around me, but they're all close units, and I was the only guy. And yeah, it was a strange dynamic. Isolated, but not. And, you get left with your thoughts, so eventually your hand is forced and you have to do something. And my decision then, hello Neela, my decision was, after a series of events, to start a YouTube channel. Because fuck it. I'd already been commenting on streams and videos under this name. Thank you, So Psyched. And 12-year anniversary, right, well, I only started uploading 4 years ago. I don't know how long I've had this account for. But I'm going to take you back to the first avatar I used, and we're going to use that for this part. But it does come in coincidentally quite handy, because the image, there'll be another image on the screen. I get to talk about that, so I do apologise. So, this, ignore the avatar at the desk, the screen. You see that logo in the middle? Yeah, that logo was an avatar I used. It was because my name comes from the Alpha Legion. That icon is the Alpha Legion symbol. And so eventually when I moved, I used to do news coverage, which is what I did back then. I didn't like Hello Swedish Guy or Zio and Hello Jacqueline. I didn't like response videos. Kind of cool looking though. It does look cool. It was inspired by Vernaculus. That's where I got the idea from. One of the major issues I had though was I wanted to remove the humanity from it. So the hands really bugged me, and because I didn't know how to edit images properly at the time. Omegon has a wedding ring, yes. I am married to me. It's an amazing feeling knowing I can just roll over... No, I'm not going to finish that sentence. But yeah, I started off with the logo after a few videos with just the audio file. I got the logo and I learned to use Movie Maker, which I used for about a year and a half. And I think with what happened... Hello, Heli Perez, and hello, Sarah. I think with what happened, what was going on at the time, it married to my right hand, fucking hell. And thank you, Ginger. Thank you for enjoying my content. I really appreciate that. And hello, Magpie Everspirit and Miss Lexi. Daddy, oh dear God. With what was it? I know I haven't set the super chats to pop on the screen over here, so I do apologise for not doing that. But yeah, back then, Gamergate was a huge deal. It was a big thing. I mean, I was married. Yes, I am a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. And I'm glad you liked that video. Hello, Pinkello and Doric. Gamergate was a big thing. 2015, we just had a general election in the UK. It was actually what forced me to make a video because, I don't know, I felt quite alienated with British politics. And, you know, I think it bugged me because I didn't want the Conservatives to win, but Labour had no policies that would actually do anything that would benefit me. I'd done enough research at the time. Hello, Asthma Hound. I think politics at the time was tragic. But back onto the video styles. When I realised I wasn't doing response videos, I thought, well, let's do this. Let's have a new set. So I looked around and found, basically I did the skeptic clone thing. I'd already decided on the avatar head, the Cthulhu ski mask, because my niece loved it. I in fact own one of those. And so I thought, why not? The problem was I didn't know how to edit the image enough that I could make it look, well, like it wasn't stuck on a face that you can almost see underneath the suit, underneath the tentacle bits. It's not very well done. But it sufficed, you know? Hello, TA. And I think with time, I joined a Skype group called the B-List. There's actually a Sunday stream called Sunday Funday, run by Red Robot. He does the intro and outro original ones for this channel. Every time I do a shout out, I always mention him because I am eternally grateful for what he did. Because, hello Karma, how you doing? And I think with, I hope your hands are hurting from the guitar play, by the way. With what he did, he found lots of creators and he put them into one Skype group. and that includes someone like Undoomed, who only had 3,000 at the time. I had 34. He subbed to me, my sub count doubled overnight. Thank you, C. Thomas. Ghastly has Whale Gang, we need Moist Legion. You're quite right, we do need Moist Legion. On that note, I'm going to pour a drink. Red Robot, surprisingly, has done a lot for people. He's very helpful. And I think with all the people that were there, I could list them off. Let's see. Well, there's Red Robot, Undoomed, Healthy Atheist, Gamer was a part of it, I think, for a while. Senior Midi Bagel, Spinosaurus-Kin, or Spineless Foreskin, or David Shirat, or David Shitrat, or Incel that went to America to try and bang a ginger that wouldn't bang him. Can I continue? Oh yes, let's continue. Taco Salad, Reels Before Feels, Bene, Fiffin, Griffix, myself, Charming Man, now Mitch, Mim Headroom. There were lots more, actually. A number of honey badgers joined for a while. I think Sargon was in there for a couple of days. Lauren Southern was in it as well at one point. But Spino's obsession did him no favours. And I think most people know about that. So I'm not going to dawdle on that just yet. And what we did was we talked about subjects, and hello Destiny. We talked about subjects, NPC hello. I'm drinking Blackberry Moonshine. And so the group was quite big. Once or twice we had to, hello IR. One or two times we had to change the group or to a new group because there was a doxer introduced, and we all thought, yeah, no, let's move away. Some creators were picked out by Sargon or other bigger creators like Griffix and Spino, and their channels disappeared for a while. They blew up a little. And hello Zombie Teddy. It was a good time. I was very close friends with Griffix, Fiffin, Bene. If you haven't noticed, none of them active anymore. Fiffin got laid and got married. Griffix, I don't know what happened to Griffix. I think she just finally conceded she's a German twat waffle and not Dutch, and disappeared. And Benny, I assume he got laid as well. Maybe that's a consequence of growing up. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Everyone moved on, moved away. And in fact, I noticed when I'm talking to Red about this a while back that there aren't many people who are part of it that... Do I like Slayer? Yes, I do. Play a number of their songs on one of my guitars that is set specifically to play their songs because they don't tune their guitars typically. Hello, Debs Red. So, after a few months of being in this Skype group, I finally decided to take the plunge, and I did a response video. But what I didn't do, what I couldn't do at the time, I didn't know how to splice the audio up. Hello, Solanacia? I do apologise. I'm not in a good mood. I'm miserable. Nestle, stop peddling lies. It's false news, fake news. You should be ashamed of yourself. I did a response video, but I didn't talk because I couldn't get the audio to line up, so I used memes instead. It was kind of rubbish. Although, for a long time, the most popular video on my channel was a silent video in black and white with old timey-wimey music of me mocking the hoverboard ban in the UK, which is just segways, the hands-free segways. And the most moist song ever is actually the Moist Samage song someone made for me with their guitars. That song's glorious. I think it's on my main channel somewhere. It's called the Moist Song, I think. Yeah, it's something. It's amazing. And eventually I started doing proper response videos. But the problem I found was that so many creators, there were so many anti-SJW channels, and there's no point me now saying they didn't exist. There were so many channels doing response videos. So many of them. And, you had to be unique to stand out. I was using this, another generic template stolen image from Google. So it wasn't great. I did eventually progress with this to, and I'm going to put this on the screen, to this avatar here. As you can see, I kind of refined it a little. Major difference obviously being the hands, which I got tentacle gloves and cropped the images over, and the ducky tie, because that tie is not actually that. I changed it. The reason why is because the hands I wanted to remove because I wanted to remove the humanity from it, and the ducky tie because a friend and I agreed it's cool. It's also, and the head being blue is because, well, I have a blue one of these, so yeah, And the reason I went with the tentacle gloves, hands even, and the reason they're purple and green, is because the original, yes, quack quack, the original gloves I found by chance on Google when I was just looking at images. I was looking for tentacle glove or like prosthetics, and I found them. I contacted the seller. To this day, they never replied, and it kind of sucked because I wanted a pair. But I'll get to that later. I do actually have a pair now. Face reveal, never. I'm not. This channel's not me. It's Omegon. And I think it right I keep it the same that way. I'm not Irate Bear. I'm not capable of separating the two. I don't think it right either. But yeah, when I introduced this, I was able to start using other sets because I'd learnt to edit videos. So I got other sets. I bought stock images. I actually bought them. So I had my own sets that I paid for. Yes, and the ducky tie is important to How I Met Your Mother. It was a bet between Marshall and Barney. And I do quite like slap bets. It is my face. Of course it is, Zombie Teddy. You probably will miss Lexi, because some things are not meant to be seen. With this, obviously I changed the set a number of times for those images I paid for. But as I crept towards 1,000 subs, by the way, the first 100 was the hardest. 1,000 though felt like a death march. Honestly, things were quite tricky. And at that time, response videos were still popular, but I wanted to do something of my own. A mayonnaise, dear God. Look up Elephant Man for a face reveal. Lauren is quite right. That is me. Hello, Simon. I did a series I called The Exhibition of Stupidity. It was kind of like the new segment on the Ghost Poo podcast. It took me about a year to get to 1,000. And it was not easy. Because the problem I had was I only uploaded one video a week at the time. And it was always, and this was Sod's Law. Halfway during that week, there'd be a video that went absolutely viral. And everyone would talk about it. So when I got to it, there was just nothing else new you could add. It's definitely Tarquin. Yeah, definitely. So Blue-Footed Booby nailed it. Doxed. Hashtag doxed. 93 viewers. Nice. Or 91, you say. Do I have a team? No, it is literally just me. I don't work well with other people, okay? I like to... One of the things I like about YouTube, and it's something that motivates me, is that the buck stops with me. I am responsible. I'm self-employed in real life. I am responsible on this. This is me. If I make a mistake, the onus is on me. No one else. And I don't like laying the blame on other people for mistakes I make. I've made mistakes. Those name choices, though. Did anyone in your personal life recognise your channel? No, because nobody in my personal life, except for my dad and my sisters, know about this channel. You know, I could do retro videos. That's actually not such a bad idea. And Dibula, you'll get there, but one a week, fam. Yeah, so anyway, the climate was still response video heavy, up to 1,000 subs. Gamergate was still strong. I think it was just starting to hit that peak and go down. Hello, Echo and Game Lord. It was starting to, change. So when I hit 1,000, I reached out to Miss Shadowpaint, or Lisa, and she very kindly for free made me an upgrade because I wanted a personal avatar. Something very much my own. I wanted it to be mine because I didn't want it to be polluted by stock images. So we changed to this. Boom. The mistake I made here is that I haven't included a minor alteration to my avatar, because during 2016 something quite unfortunate happened, and I had, as an homage, I had a badge applied to my avatar with the word Mum written on it. And I really like this avatar, by the way. I still do, because the ducky tie is still there. Fiffin, or Feminism is for Nobody's in the Cage, and the Benny Ball, the Pokeball, designed after a video I did capturing him. And on these screens I would change who blocked me on Twitter, because I thought it was funny, and in the middle I would put some random notes. It's a nice image. I think the background is still a stock image, though. I really should have bought something. But I didn't. And I used this to then become exclusively a response video channel. I was still uploading only one a week, though. And it wasn't until Bering reached out and asked me to do a guest video for him. Or collaboration, sorry. And we did one on Jonathan McIntosh, I think? I think it was. And here's Toxic Masculinity video. And yes, Will Wheaton. I should probably address this now. Before I hit 1,000 subs at around about 450, I made a video asking creators to send me a clip of them saying, "Shut up, Wesley." Good fella, if anyone knows who he is, he's an awesome guy. Was the very first person. He was one of those creators I looked up to. He sent me it first. I got about 20 by the time I finished it. And it was great. You know, I felt kind of honoured. It was quite something. And I remember putting that out, and I still didn't get blocked by Wesley. Until I saw him drinking from a Meltears mug and I called him a cum guzzler. That got me blocked. You're mad. I think he was just jealous that I was right. Or jealous of my, my noodly appendages, obviously. Slap that thigh for a blessing. I'm not slapping my thigh. Because you're just going to call me thick or have thunder thighs. We're not doing this. Please say most in your sexiest voice. Oh, please say moist. I don't even know what my sexiest voice is because I don't find my voice sexy to begin with. So perhaps I'm not the right person to ask to say something in a sexy voice because I don't know what quantifies as sexy. There was something else that was going on at the time. What was it? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But yes, I carried on doing response videos, eventually I started growing. Because of the collaboration with Bering, I hit 5,000 within a month, which was brilliant. That was fast. Unfortunately, I had to take a break, but that was okay. I knew a number of creators. After when something happened, I reached out and I asked a number of creators if they could do guest videos. So I had a month to deal with what happened. And Bering was one of them. He did a guest video for me. It was brilliant. It was teaching people how to use Audacity because he absolutely reamed me for the quality of the audio in one of my videos. What a bastard. Love him. When I got back on my feet and after what happened, I decided that I had to do something proactive because now that I'd lost my mother, I thought, I need to be proactive and invest my time better into what I do. So cleaning work, I found a bit more. And I thought, okay then, I need to now double down on YouTube because I was enjoying this. And I'd realised actually just before Mum passed, I was very close to getting my first ever YouTube paycheck because you have to earn about £60 before you get it. And, hello Lily. And I think I just hit it in September, so in October I got my first ever paycheck, which was amazing. I bought a bottle of Glenlivet, which is actually still in its unopened behind my monitor, because it's like a reward, and I spent the rest buying myself and my sisters some Chinese food, which was nice. And I think every month subsequently I've managed to earn a paycheck from YouTube, which is brilliant. Hello, Tailed. So the decision to double down on YouTube and focus my effort and time into it felt like the right move, because in hindsight, it achieved something where it's made life a lot easier. It's a shame that it took such a shock to the system to do it, but thank you, Tailed. I don't regret it, because actually I don't mind doing all the extra work. I like doing streams. I used to struggle with these. If it wasn't obvious enough on my own streams, and certainly a couple of months ago, it wasn't very easy either. it certainly was a few years ago. I had wanted to politically stream on this channel, but people weren't interested at the time. So I decided, because I didn't know how to host a Hangout, I didn't know how to use OBS, it was all new to me. I did create the Cthulhu-Kin and Friends show, now Moist Ski Live, which I guess I probably shouldn't name this stream series, but fuck it. I think it took about 4 more months before I hit 10,000, because I did a guest video for Undoomed. And this again was when response videos were still very popular. One of the things I had noticed though was, thankfully everyone involved in Gamergate was fighting amongst themselves. As is, thank you Tiger Lily, as is cliche for anyone involved in any community anywhere ever. They always start devolving and fighting, and it happens to all of them, doesn't it? I think only one community I've ever noticed hasn't. And it's still the B-list. Because they're not all huge names. They're not all, they're not all arrogant. They're not full of egos. Talon, what is the first game you ever streamed? Enter the Gungeon. I streamed it on the Omegon Plays channel. Now, I did have a game channel before Omegon Plays, but I couldn't get any traction, and I think it was because I wasn't streaming, because my computer couldn't handle it. And it was entirely because I was uploading audio-less Euro Truck and American Truck, just deliveries, no talking. It was, in hindsight, the dullest thing I could ever do. And I'm glad you like Enter the Gungeon. It is a good game. Everyone should go play it. I did actually, when I streamed it, the 5 times I streamed it, I got right on one of the last ones I did. I got right to the final boss, and I fucked it by 1 hit. I was so triggered. I was so damn triggered. But that was fun. People enjoyed it, and I moved on to Left 4 Dead, 7 Days to Die, Vermintide, and now Euro Truck, American Truck, and Minecraft. And definitely I'm going to do more Minecraft, because 600 views, that was good. Sorry, I had to have a drink. So, when I hit 10k, I changed things again, but my avatar artist lost my avatar image. It didn't go to your head with night. Fam, the first 100 are the hardest. Cherish those 9. My first subscriber was called My Name is Joseph Stalin, and I still remember him because he crops up from time to time. Love that guy. So I changed this when I hit 10k. The avatar changed a bit, but I do like 1 or 2 features, so we'll definitely talk about that. Boom! Okay, firstly, the eyes are fucked. I love Lisa, I really do, but I don't know what happened with the eyes. But this is where the ducky bow tie came into it. I loved it. I love the Cthulhu belt. I love the Benny ball still on the avatar, although the trim I noticed there's a bit weird on the image edit. Otterface being in the cage instead of Fiffin, because Fiffin was gone at this point. Fiffin was no longer active on YouTube. Response videos were starting to die. The bowler hat, by the way, I love the bowler hat. And you notice on my avatar's collar, the mom badge. I was very proud of that. And the fact that there was a shadow underneath my avatar. Yeah, I can appreciate that. The video screen there was left empty because I always put a different underwater video there. I just wanted to make things a bit different, and for the autists who couldn't stand still images, the video would also, draw their attention to something else. Because at that time, thank you for liking the hat. I think this was before people appreciated my accent. Let's go with that. Hello, Stephen. I think people at the time were more interested in the ideas. I certainly did not have as many people interested in my chats with my voice as I do now. That's brilliant, Karma. That makes me happy. 100 people. Awesome. And, okay, things have changed a bit since then. Learned to become a bit more of an audiophile myself. Maybe not as much as Bearing, but, well, I'm trying, okay? I started to transition away from response videos at this point. Because, as much as I love them, because they're easy to make, there were not as many of them left. People were being destroyed left, right and centre by the likes of Bearing Undoomed Satiritician, who's dead now, may as well be. Andy Warski. You know, I could list quite a lot. Hello, thank you, Cheryl. There are so many channels that made so many videos a day. V. Monroe, Sargon Avocado. It's ridiculous. All with varying levels of success. Let's forget Satiritician, because obviously he's gone, and well, not gone, but he is. And let's forget Andy Warski, because, well, yeah. Oh, and Monday Matt. Can't forget Monday Matt, Kraut. Hell, the list is quite long. There are a lot of those channels. Some of the channels I wished had done better. Poisoning the Well, because those guys make good videos. You know, Armored Skeptic, good videos. Yeah. Thank you, Ranting Monkey. One of the hardest things, I think, when doing videos like that, transitioning away from response videos and trying to be more frequent with the uploads to 2 or 3 videos a week. This is before I started streaming more as well. One of the issues I realised was structuring a video, because that... Oh dear, that wasn't easy. Then again, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. Well, a bit of a dick, I guess, because the first video I did with this set was, for the longest time, the most popular video on my channel as well. And hello, Okie Native. It was a response video to Ranting Feminist, who for the longest time hated me because of it. We're since friends now, so it's fine. And, I don't know, response videos, well, they were dying anyway. I think it was right to move away for the sake of longevity. This was around the time also the fabled adpocalypse hit, which, I mean, I sat back and watched and I chuckled a little. It amused me that so many people got absolutely fucked by the system. Wait, you made a video? Ranting Monkey makes videos? Impressive. Hello, White Sith Male. The news coverage thing was also something more natural to me anyway, because obviously that's how I started. The entire thing being inspired by vernaculars at the time, and I quite enjoy talking about the news because it meant I could then go look at the stories. And, oh yeah, Monday. Oh well, I'm glad that the Hermit is you're here then. Thank you, Monday Matt, for pushing your audience away to me. Can I have your play button? Can you just scratch out your name? Because I really want to put a play button on my set. No joke, I really do. Or hang it above my mantelpiece. I don't know. Has a reflective side. Could it be counted as a mirror if I put it on the ceiling? Do people still do that? Doesn't matter. The adpocalypse showed the colours of a number of creators, because many I didn't realise were driven by money. I personally was a little, but not at the same time. And how are you going to go? Bye, Meru. Thank you for joining. I kind of struggled justifying why it wasn't. I'm not reeing for you. I can't do it anyway. My voice won't let me. I'm not saying money, although at the same time as saying money is a motivating factor, it is not a motivating factor. In the sense that I was enjoying what I was doing, so it didn't matter in the first place. Certainly streaming wasn't a thing for me then either, because Super Chats didn't exist then. So if I did stream, it wasn't monetarily, it wasn't a monetary thing. Enjoy your game. So with YouTube, it was interesting with the apocalypse, because so many creators then just vanished. Either because they couldn't make the videos they needed to pay the bills because they were being demonetized straight away. I think Rory may have been a victim of that. Although I did love the... I did like the animation for Rory the Lion. Others, like, are the worst one for it, I guess. And I think a few in the chat might know who this is. No, I can't do that. Sorry, Gem. You have to pay for that. The worst one for it was known by the name Tigero. I'm sure a number of you know who this is, and I only know of is it the Battening or Battening? Battening, let's go with that. Because of him. Because of Tigero. Okie Native, eat more steak. I did eat some beef jerky earlier, does that count? It was sent to me from Texas. Yeah. yeah, Ranting Monkey, you're absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with money being a motivation. Money being the only motivation is where you saw a lot of asshats. Tiger O was the perfect person to be, you can call him that. And that sucked, because Tiger O actually, just after my mother passed, he'd actually reached out to me just before and after. Because he hadn't paid attention to the little video I put out saying, yeah, I'm going away because my mum died. He reached out to do a collaboration, and I'm glad it didn't actually. And because, it kind of, sucked. He just milked the system. It hadn't occurred to me, I didn't realise until I watched Battening's video that actually he was. Like, the thing I didn't do, I didn't shill Patreon, I didn't shill PayPal, I didn't do anything, because I thought it was really pathetic, really. And I thought, that if I just stayed true to a certain level, a certain standard, and a certain level of integrity, perhaps if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. I'd just be content with what I had. Things were getting better for me in life anyway. So I didn't... I say too much. I'm going to stop doing that. It was nice to grow knowing that it was on the back of merit as opposed to begging. I didn't go out of my way to ask people, hello Ash, for collaborations. They just happened. Although I don't generally do them much these days, and I feel bad about that. But, and I'm going to state why now, there was a creator who I streamed with the very first Moisky live on this channel, actually, which is since deleted. I even let them do a guest video on my channel for me to find out they'd been sent to prison for being essentially a fucking sex offender. And that makes me so angry. People like, okay, so White Sid Mel in the chat, I've collabed with him a few times. I've collabed with Skeptic Llama a few times. I've collabed with a number of anti-SJW channels. And yes, collabs are a pain. Because it comes down to... Yeah, you got it, man, Monkey. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Fuck. Oh my god, what a twat. So I don't really do collabs anymore. Which is a shame because there are a number of people I would like to collab with. But I can't. I can't do it. Best I could do is say, guest video. Yeah, that's about it. And that's unfortunate, but I really can't do that anymore. And that sucks because they were fun. They're hard to do, but fun. Especially response video types. I did one with Sinatra. Basically, I'd done a video, but didn't know what to do with it. And yeah, Monkey, exactly what I had the problem with as well. I've had to go find streams that I was on with him, and I asked people to delete them. I just can't be involved. It makes me so angry. It actually did. What a fucking twat. And the collaboration, I give one to Sinatra. It was this video, and I sent it to him. He had about 9,500. I think I was at 15 at the time, and he'd finished it in an hour. Sent it back, and he just it was the sweet science of a very simple response video. I was just me, my calm usual self, and he was a massive prick. I loved it because that's one of the key balances with those kind of videos is that with me you are always going to get someone very calm. Sith, did we get in contact through a Twitter DM group where people were trying to arrange an orgy up and down the United Kingdom? Was that it? Or was that just Skeptic Llama? Because I remember this, and I remember seeing that and thinking, huh? Yeah. Anyway, I did have an avatar after this for a while, but it was actually it was the first one done by Christina Prime. This has obviously been done by Lisa. And so the next avatar doesn't really change much, so we're just going to skip back to the main set because actually this is what it ended up being anyway. Well, not this Joker suit, but this variant, and it's quite simple really. There was a man-spreading avatar, but it was the same avatar, and I kind of enjoyed it because it was simple. By that point I was still just doing news coverage, but I was also at the same time being asked by somebody in the background to work on something. A little secret project, which, oh dear, this changed shit. At this point, Brexit had obviously long since gone, and I'd been streaming more and more. That was me too. Our personal contact was when you asked me to help with the anime video. Oh yeah! Yeah, you redid all the audio, because I thought it was you that recorded the audio initially. You're quite right. Right. My apologies. Yes, I remember that. Yes, you redid all the audio for it. That was brilliant. But yeah, Brexit happened. It was absolute carnage. I'd started streaming politically. And yeah, it got a bit different. But I was working on a different project at the time. And the project was, well, I didn't know much about this person at the time. Ended up becoming the biggest thing on my channel, which is ridiculous, really. Not even a joke. 400,000 views over 9 months is ridiculous. I didn't realise there were this many people. I didn't know when I recorded the first video how many channels existed to criticise her. I didn't expect over the time to gain 20,000. Yeah, I know it didn't happen. I know, I'm very sad about the orgy not happening. I didn't realise that many people existed. I didn't realise that many people would enjoy it, because I said it again, didn't I? I wasn't as invested. So when people say they love the first Anne Boleyn Reid video, I often find that to be amusing because I wasn't as invested in that as I was in the second. I'm worried about the whole law of diminishing returns. Okay, so I set a target. I was happy for it to hit 5,000 views and I'd be happy. But it was demonetized for the first week and only hit 5,000 views after because of it. Thank you, Talon. I appreciate that. Hipster. I'm quite proud of them, but I always felt like there was always something missing because I was never sure with my style whether it would work. Hello, Shivy Pop. How you doing? I was never sure because I'm quite calm, and so it never served me to be angry, aggressive. Decay happens quickly. You're quite right, it does, and I noticed it. It's always why I was sceptical of doing a third part, but as I've said, I'm going to be a massive cunt in the third part. We'll see. It'll probably be demonetized straight away, though. Jesus Christ. I could, hang on. If I will pull up something. Let's see if I can find it. Not current project. Because I have been working on the third part. And let's see if I can find it. There are a lot of really... Oh god, it's far too long. Oh, right, hang on. Hang on, you might be able to hear this. Let's see.
Did you break the 600?
Could
be a plausible option for you in the near future should you break the £600 barrier. It's called a car wash, and it doesn't cost much. Hell, if you want, you can get a valet.
That's just a tiny little clip, if you heard it, from part 3. So we'll certainly see how that goes down because, yeah, I'm not the nicest. My videos aren't demonetized right away, to be honest. Actually, for the most part, I am monetized mostly. And I know Anger is definitely Ranty Monkey's thing because he can do that. But I can't. By the way, I did have a second solution for showering if she has issues with it. Let's see if I can mention it.
Or utterly ridiculous options. Go to the zoo, perhaps.
Oh.
Perhaps stand underneath a NASA rocket as it takes off because that will definitely burn all the bacteria off your skin. And I think all the fat.
There's that as well. That's all you're getting, though, because it's 35 minutes long and I've only done 3 parts of about 10 pieces I want to cover. Yes, Duck Dog, it is still running. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing I noticed when the adpocalypse thing hit, was that profanity in the filter kind of caused issues. And so I had to try my best to remove the profanity, and it wasn't easy because I really struggle. Especially when you want to be more aggressive. The only time anyone... Hello, Nevermore. Most people... Hello, Celestial Rogue. Most people only ever heard me get aggressive, I think, one time in a response video when somebody said if... they were talking about time travel and how current year was more like the 50s with certain behaviours. And I suggested perhaps going back in time to the moment just before she was conceived, creeping up on her dad and screaming the word "pull out" in his ear. See what happens, I guess. It gets the hose. It does get the hose. You're right. Put the lotion in the bucket. What happened next? Oh yeah. So the first one hit, and I gained a ridiculous number of subs, which was brilliant. At that point, by the way, I think it was only recent. I think it was about 5-6 months before then. About a year earlier, sorry, I'd started a Discord server to talk to patrons, because it was really hard back then to just talk to patrons, and it's become this whole thing now. Hello, Diana. Well, to be that's good, Debbie. You got standards. I noticed Discord, as far as a tool for helping with this channel, has been absolutely fantastic, because it's made things so much easier. Why is that there? Let's put that there. I have no idea what image that is. Ignore me, my apologies. Yeah, so I started Discord because others did as well, and Skype was dying at the time. So I had to go back a little, I do apologise. And, yes, 110, that's amazing. Thank you. And, considering I'm not talking about politics or any particular topic that would actually interest most of my audience, that's brilliant. And I have no guest, it's just me. That's even better. Because then I don't have to be awkward and ask questions for things I can't answer or can't think to ask in the first place, because I'm drawing a blank here. It was suggested I set up a Discord server by a number of people, because it would be easier for me then to contact patrons, easier to discuss things, host patron streams, which were on the Cthulhu-Kin Friend Show, but they were just awkward. They were pure cringe. They're in a playlist if you want to go listen. They're really awkward. And actually I gained a lot of patrons because they wanted to this doxing crap. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we'll certainly get to that. Thank you, Adam. Your honesty is me gusta. I think with the doxing stuff, it's dangerous. There was a lot of it. And trying to... So somebody asked me... They were, Joe, you would know, since you are one of the people on those streams. In all of them, I think. Or but one or two, sorry. There were... where was I going with that? Oh. Wait, why has that come through the wrong audio? Fuck off. I set that so it was in the right one. You're on the right one. Why have you done... Why? Oh, I'm not going to... You know what? If you got an echo on that, I do apologise, but I'm not fixing it. I fixed it before we started, and apparently it hasn't fixed it. What was I talking about? The doxings. Oh, yeah, so I for the most part, take a neutral stance on a lot of things, except for doxing. And I take a neutral stance. I don't get too involved in communities. Hello, stop music. And have fun at work. White Sith male. Love your karaoke streams. The example. There was somebody in a comment today in today's video on Pro Jared and James Charles that asked me why I hadn't done a video on, and I think because they used some profanities, they meant Ben Shapiro after he walked off on a BBC interview, and they said perhaps I wouldn't because I align with his politics. I don't actually know Ben Shapiro's politics. I really don't, because I don't pay attention to those people. I don't pay attention to a lot of people. And thank you, Em. And very, very wee channel at one point, indeed. I don't follow Ben Shapiro. I don't follow Dave Rubin. I don't follow any of the big news names or interviews. I don't do it. I barely keep up with Sargon of Akkad. I see him in newspapers every so often, and that's about it. I don't buy the paper, though. It's just there. And the reason I don't is because then I'm able to take what I believe to be a neutral stance. So when I see someone go on a news interview and walk off, I get to watch it from the position of, I don't know who the guy is anyway. And then I can simply say, yeah, he clearly wasn't prepared, but he shouldn't have walked off. Okay? Hello, Garthon. And you're quite right, they're not big news names, but you know what I meant. I don't pay attention to any of these people, because I don't care. So when someone says I wouldn't because I align with their politics, I disagree. I did bother to look into it quickly, and I noticed Ben Shapiro put out a statement saying he wasn't prepared. And the word that in my head cropped up first was bullshit. You were going on national television to be interviewed. I think, if anything, it was supreme arrogance of you to go on there not prepared. I do believe you may have been unprepared, but I know you enough, vaguely, to have seen clips of you dismantle people with what looked like relative ease, and you got done by a pudgy wig wearer. You got done by that, by a pudgy wig wearing tool. And to the gayest person on YouTube, thank you very much for your donation. That's very kind of you. Hang on, didn't you make a sandwich wench video for me once? So yes, Shivy Pop, you're quite right. The point is, the example, the comment, was that I wouldn't talk about it because of my bias. But in those instances, I don't believe I have one. Because I've tried my best for 4 years to stay away from it, to remain aloof, which sounds arrogant as fuck, to want to not be involved. It's like internet blood sports. I have never, ever been involved. But when it happens, do I DM Cog and ask him what happened? Yes. Do I DM Irate Bear or text him? Yes, I sure as fuck do. Because I want to know what's happened, just so I know where to go so I can best avoid it. When the skeptics were being destroyed by the alt-right, do you remember that crap? Yes. Gayest person on YouTube. Love you. Seriously, love you. The fact is, by the way, yes, I do remember you being involved, Ranting Monkey. That was quite something. I remember watching the skeptics get destroyed. They were being destroyed because they refused to accept things from a certain set of facts. And it did appear to be a bunch of people going, la la la, fingers in ears, I can't hear you. It was quite pathetic. It was almost as embarrassing as watching the buttons give way on Armoured Skeptic's, what was it, the waistcoat? I couldn't tell because he looked like a big sausage at that point. And yeah, Cog is a good guy. It's one of those weird things, he will call literally anyone out. And he has taken a very consistent stance, which is why I absolutely support what he does. People hate him, but he's consistent. And yes, that's exactly why the skeptics got destroyed. They refused to bury the emotion. It was the very thing they claimed to fight against that was used against them. Hello, Spike. And it was that moral outrage. They couldn't see past it. And I thought that was absolutely tragic. There were a number of channels I respected immensely just falling by the wayside because they couldn't function. They couldn't accept anything. How, by the way, skeptic trademark fiasco. Okay, so funny story. Skog, one of my patrons, long-suffering serving patrons, he has a 3D printer. Knows about my love of Judge Dredd. Printed out a bunch of Judge Dredd badges for me, with Moist written on one, which is actually hung above my desk on a fan art drawn by Christina Prime, which I painted, and the others all say Skeptic Clone Trademark, which I painted. I sent one's hanging on a lanyard up on my shelf with other things I've been sent, and one got sent to Irate Bear, which I believe he showed in a video. I would send others out, but I forgot to. Andy Warski's a fantastic case of someone who lets himself be, led, lacking any proper, fortitude to stand by their own convictions, to the point where he got led into things and then just embraced it and got fucked. The IBS stuff, which obviously came about after Skeptics, I think. Okay, hello Stuart. I think, and then hello Miss Maple Syrup. And I was disappointed in a lot of Skeptics too. It was quite sad because I think I fell into that bracket, and I was sat back thinking, there are a lot of people now railing on the Skeptics, and I'm sat here thinking, I think I'm one of them, but I've not been involved in any of this. Hello Asthma Hound and Matty. and the Asian Cutie 93. And yes, it was really nice of Skog to do that. And hello, Sarah. It was really sad to watch. Hello, Malachite. And I thought perhaps that might damage this channel then too, but it didn't, which was nice. Because I seem to have remained aloof to the point where it didn't impact me. I wasn't doing response videos, I wasn't attacking individuals. So perhaps it was a good thing, and it worked out well. And certainly the Anne Boleyn Reid video helped immensely. As I promised, obviously, with Anne Boleyn, I did a part 2, filling in some of the gaps I left in part 1. And I left them out on purpose because I didn't have time to put them in part 1. And in hindsight, perhaps it was best it wasn't in part 1 because part 1 was 50 minutes long. And Sinatra is doing very well since Insert Blood Sports. In fact, I could go through a list of all the creators that are doing well, but I don't actually care. No offense. It doesn't matter to me. I believed, by the way, that I will say though, I thought Tonka would win. Before he didn't turn up, that is. That triggered me to shit. I'm gonna need more booze. With part 2, I felt like I'd cemented a bit of a format, a style of video it took a while to make, but felt worth it. In the sense that, I was finally able to, I was able to make videos that targeted somebody, but addressed major flaws in what they were doing, without attacking them, if that makes sense. And I was quite proud of that because I didn't want to be that guy. Those kind of videos have always existed anyway. I think every format exists at this point. I just quite enjoyed being able to talk about people without being a massive cunt. Part 3, though, you've already heard your bit. You know I'm going to be a cunt. You know it. I still don't think she showers, okay? I'm not convinced. And, obviously, after keeping a promise, I'd do Foodie Beauty. I did that and moved on. It's been quite interesting, though, with what's happened over the last 4 years, because while I've stayed away from it, the landscape has changed quite a bit. Social commentary has always existed. Yeah, you're right again, Monkey, of course. It's like today, with the video I did today, I refused to attack. I know people involved were shitty and pro-Jared. I know the person he was seeing was giving support was being shitty. But I don't see a point in attacking the... I don't see a point in attacking people based on appearance. I never really thought about it. It doesn't factor. I think it's just irrelevant. And I think for me, it devalues what I want to say on matters. And I think that was a consistent position I've tried to hold for a long time. I mean, I think with it depends on what your intention is in the first place, whether it's like a one-off or whether or not it's something you consistently do, at least, since I'm consistent in not doing it. I think maybe it's best I don't do it often. I get so much shit whenever I do that anyway. I get enough people... that's all good. I think I get enough people messaging me, telling me that I'm either too soft, I'm too much of a fence rider, or oh, what was the other one? There's another one. I am right-wing. That's new. I didn't realise that having occasional beliefs that fall on the right makes you a right-winger. Right. I get other things as well, which is nice, but because of that neutrality, it comes to bite you, doesn't it? Oh yeah, he has purple hair. Yes, I noticed in his black and white streams that he does. And that really crap video he made on James Charles. Cogs covered that, though, so it doesn't matter now. Oh yeah, I'm a right-wing apologist. I'm a right-wing reactionary delusional fuckwit. Do I need to go to an AA meeting and say that? Oh, and because obviously I'm very unironically, for somebody synonymous with the word moist, I have a Sahara-like sense of humour. I still have to keep inserting a sarcasm sign because people don't seem to realise I'm being sarcastic. I do apologise if you can't tell, but might I make a recommendation for those who are not watching the screen, where the sarcasm sign is inserted? Take your hand off your whatever it is you're masturbating with and look at the screen. And yes, you are a traitor to your gender, Maple. For shame. I noticed... okay, so with politics, because I may as well address it now, I guess. It hasn't really changed so much. There have been a few shocks to the system, I guess. I guess with Trump, especially Brexit, I had thought, perhaps with the way identity politics was addressed by the skeptics and social commenters, perhaps it would die off. But actually, after the death of the skeptic community, many of them, formerly themselves a member of the skeptic community, became very much identitarian types. I was reliably informed those that refuse to accept a label, those who refuse to adopt one or be a part of one, are typically called hipsters. I only know one hipster, no, two, but he thinks one of them thinks they're a paper one. I don't really see why identity is so is so important to people. I mean, it's not something I'm against, though. As long as you don't force feed it down someone's throat, I don't see a problem, really. Do you? Does anyone? I mean, it's just part of who you are. But I don't really care for it. And it was quite funny to watch, because it was originally like with the skeptics before they fell, I guess. It was united against an enemy. Hipsters are so 2011. I don't know any hipsters. I do not know any hipsters. Talon. And it was quite interesting to watch that once the dreaded SJWs were dealt with, when they turned in on themselves, the skeptics that is, it was entirely divided across party lines, which to me was quite funny. Because their politics didn't matter, but they needed someone to have a go at. How sad is that? Metka may have had that right, I guess. Oh, the skeptics were precious. I was a part of that and I hate it. I think I have a skeptic clone sticker. Yeah, I have it. It's stuck on a frame. And I'm looking at it now. I got it from Armoured Skeptic's shop with a suit. Oh, it looks good. I like it. Oh dear. So skipping ahead to more present. After 4 years, I've somehow managed to create 4 channels. Okay, the 4th one I'm still working on. Oh yeah, I remember that, Stargazer, because you're definitely not whammon. You're definitely a hipster. I remember. So I managed to create a proper game channel where I've now found my niche in truck driving games. Yeah, nothing wrong with being a skeptic, because I quite like that. I don't care for the label aspect. I like what it was, what it stood for. You know, approaching things with a level head and giving it a fair chance. I saw someone earlier tweet out a picture of a feminist dancing on a car naked, and the driver pulled her off the car and she crashed on the floor. Now, it looked painful when she landed. Okay, people laughing at this. I think Roosh V tweeted it out. People laughing about it. I think the only funny part in that video was that her friend draped her clothes over her and then walked away. That was amusing. Like, I'm not guilty. I'm not a part of this. But then people tweeting comments on it, a number of them who I thought were skeptics at one point, all just attacking the feminist for being naked on the car. I don't really care for the stunt. I'm now more concerned that she's okay. Maybe my moral compass is in a different position. I don't know. I couldn't save it. She hit the ground hard. Okay. Don't care for the personal attack crap. Yeah, that. Oh, I don't know if she deserved it, but damn, she hit the ground hard. Oh dear God, that was painful, and I feel bad for her. I don't know why she had to be naked though. That I still need to work that part out. I hope I'm able to work it out at some point. But yeah, with hello UK skin. Perhaps I would feel differently if I drove. I found my niche on the gaming channel and eventually moved on to the political streams on Moistski Live now. Cthulhu-Kin and Friend Show for the longest time. And kowtowing to a number of requests, I started a creepypasta channel. Hello, Laura. These things were all things I felt very uncomfortable doing, though. And thank you, Diana. You're a good cunt. Off to work. Thank you. Have fun at work. I struggled immensely. And you could see over the progression of all these channels. Hell, even on the creepypasta, the very first one, Azathoth, is about as awkward as it gets. I had to have someone help me. Karma, she's in my chat. She would listen to the audio back and tell me if it was any good. And you can tell from each one in turn up till the third one, because I haven't released one for a week now. The most recent one is... Nope, can't remember. The second one was Cats of Althar. Third one, What the Moon Brings. I remember. And you could see sort of progression. And that's actually one of the main purposes any of the channels existed. And that was to help me because of what I had endured. And I guess I'm not going to do a sob story. I'm really not. We all have baggage. That is a simple statement of fact. We've all been through something. And that's life. Everyone tells you that not life, but we are our own worst enemies. That's not true. Life is. Life's a massive cunt. If it can find a way to knock you down and keep you there, it will do it. Okay? And that's unfortunate, but it's a consequence, I guess. You're bag free. Everyone go touch Ranting Monkey's booty. He loves that. Now, I use these channels as a way to rebuild because of what I had personally gone through. I'm not talking drugs, self-harm, or anything like that, because I don't do that. I don't understand why people do it either, but I'm not going to be drawn in on that discussion today. It's not what I did. Mine's entirely different. Not unique, just different. Life's a massive cunt. Exactly, Eliza, and hello, Eliza. The main purpose of the channel was to help me regain confidence. Because I used to be popular with people, and I used to be able to talk to people. I used to be able to fraternize and go out and have fun. Haven't done that one recently. Okay, I went out for a day trip with some people. That was fun. Sushi was lovely. They were nice to me, though. Might unfriend them. Can't be having that in my life. I also wanted to be able to improve my quality of life. And I look around in the room I inhabit, which I've recently been soundproofing. Yeah. It's fully decorated. It's got new guitars. It's got everything I could ever want in it, really. Okay, I'd want my own space and all that. See you later, Ranting Monkey. Thank you very much for being here, because I appreciate that. He's talking shit about Princess Bride, oh dear God. But yeah, I was able to improve the quality of my life. And that's a key part. Improved my ability to talk to people. Make friends, even. And I've done that. Made some good friends. And I'm making new friends. That's perfect. Isn't that the whole... Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, so I'm an anon on YouTube. So there is a certain issue. But by TA, but it is, and your face muscles will get used to smiling. That's a lie. Absolute lie. Minus the issue, let's say, 3 months ago. You know who you are. Fuck off. I'll say it again if you want. Things have improved a lot. Really? That's fantastic, Redneck Guitarist. So I found my mum's old clarinet in the loft, cleaned that off. I've been trying to play that. Oh dear God, the sounds are not good. Thank you, Captain Z, for the donation. That's very generous of you. I think with what we've managed to achieve in 4 years, I can be quite proud of that. Because it did everything I wanted to achieve. There are a few things I would like to do. I would still love to hit 100,000. The clarinet works fine. It really does. But it's just been in its case for 4 years, so I had to clean it up a little. Change the reed, that's about it. I can play 2 keys now. The £5 one is gone. It's only the £1 and the £25 one I've kept. Because it's really unfair to Ash to have her featured twice. I would like to try and get to 100,000 subs. That's kind of a goal I would really like to do on this channel. I think just for the sake of having the plaque more than anything. But yeah, 47,000 is not anything to sniff at. In fact, that is 47,000 more than I ever thought I'd get. Okay, whatever the exact number is now, that. Because I didn't think I'd get this far. And it's brilliant that, we have gotten this far. Hello, Chris, and thank you. She Shivy Pop on your channel? Yeah, she did, I remember. Oh, yes, I did. I like Shivy Pop. She's very nice. Ash should be all the donations. Maybe. I still can't believe my phone went off this morning. B&Q called me, B&Q being the company I got my door from. They called me as I was recording. And so that appeared in my audio. My ringtone went, and I was like, nope, leaving that. So I did. You're welcome, Karma. I love it. Right. Well, that's how many subs I have. Brilliant. Sub to Shivy Pop, by the way. She's nice. Oh. Yeah, I thought you might do that, Blade. I knew you would do that. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words about the play button. It's. I'm not going to push for it. I think. Oh, have they? Oh dear God. Streamlabs don't take a cut. Captain Z. Captains. What was I going to say? There was something interesting. I don't want to. Obviously, okay. So it should be worth pointing out. I'm not. While I would love to grow subscriber number wise, it shouldn't be what drives me, because I like the audience part. I think interacting with you guys is more important. I do know a number of creators who don't interact with their audience as much as they should, and I have sometimes, because of exhaustion from IRL work, not responded to comments. I really should, and I should apologise for that. I'm very sorry for not doing that. But I love the interaction part more than anything, because I think that's more of that motivates me more than growing subscriber wise. I know though there are issues when you get bigger, if you retain an audience. Sorry for the clicking. Oh no, they get so many comments and they can't maintain it. They can't keep going, as it were, replying to them, and that's fine. But I want to be able to do that as much as I can. And I think a makeup channel, Jesus Christ. Don't you start that shit. I have enough issue with the ASMR or creepypasta stuff, okay? I think what motivates us is important. If it is money, fantastic. But my motivation has always been to improve myself, and I have. I think that's goal achieved. Now it's stay there, because that's what I want. And I hope to be able to keep doing that, because there are some good things going on right now. And I don't see a reason why I can't keep doing that. Well, I do try, Stuart, even though you've been on my server a few times and I haven't spoken to you once. And I am already beautiful, you're quite right. Hell, I'm going to the extent of soundproofing my room for when my other two sisters move into this house, so I don't have to listen to them while I'm working on videos to put on this channel. And do streams, of course. Can you imagine trying to do one when there's a 1-year-old child screaming all the time, or a 5-year-old child screaming all the time, or a 3-year-old? My sisters have kids, and they're all so gobby. I'm even putting a lock on the door. It's what you... I guess you can call it an investment, because this is my space. I should do the most I can to protect... Oh, God. Use James to get 50% off your subscriber. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Oh, I need a scone after that. I'm looking forward to doing a bit more with this room because it is an investment to protect what could be considered my asset, that being this channel and the people I talk to. Some motivate me, some drive me, some encourage me, and some give me shit because they can. It is... Well, it swings and roundabouts, really, doesn't it? It's quite fascinating to see how things have changed so much over 4 years, but I feel like I've at least remained consistent. Because I think then at least my integrity is intact. There are so many creators who've been involved in stupid, shady shit. By Nestle. Lost over 200,000 odd year. And see you later, IR. Hope you enjoy the ghost poo. I'll probably be stopping in a minute anyway, to be fair. Yes, scone. It's quite fascinating to see so many people fall and so many people take their place. It's fascinating to see who could and couldn't stack up after any level of pressure. It was funny to see how some were motivated. It was funny to see whether some were willing to adapt. I rate Bear as a perfect example of somebody who was willing to adapt, because I told him to switch from response videos to social commentary, and he did. I didn't agree with him going on camera, something which he has stopped doing, and I think you've got tons of integrity. Oh, false sincerity. Right. Thank you for clearing that up. I need to buy more moonshine. I don't know why I don't know where I'm going now. I think I've actually done. All I wanted to do really was talk about where things were and where they are now and what I plan. So going forward, I'm just going to keep making videos, as I always have done. I'm going to keep streaming because I enjoy it. This is the Old Smoky Blackberry Moonshine. I wish I'd had something stronger, but I don't actually have them. I need to buy one, okay? I need to buy a stronger one, okay? Chat demands Brexit update. Okay, here's the update. Done. The future, I'm working on part 3 of Anne Boleyn. Every Saturday, I'm recording a new bit for it. So by the end of this month, that video will be done. However, I'm not releasing it upon finishing it. I'm going to instead then spend June working on Foodie Beauty, or Chantal Sarrault, or Chantal Marie, or Big Beautiful me. Dear God. Then I'm going to work on Nico Cardo in July. Because the problem I've got is, if I work on Anne Boleyn, Foodie Beauty, sorry, Big Beautiful Me, sorry, Foodie Beauty, sorry, Big Beautiful Me. Oh, thank you, Blade, for hitting the target. That means I can send the snowball and a bunch of other souvenirs to Penny. That's very kind of you. I will have that shipped off tomorrow, and I'll alert everyone upon once I've dispatched it. Thank you very much. I will, if I do all 3 at the same time, there is a risk I will get facts confused, and I will end up getting my mind completely, bogged down with information from too many different people, and I'll end up saying the wrong thing. And yes, yeah, I think I said it best, really. So it'd be a case that, working on one at a time, the Dingleberry Queen or Flobby... Oh, Jesus Christ, the Dingleberries. Oh, my gag. I can't be bothered. Sounds to me like someone needs their back, sack and crack done. Does this mean Omegon has come out as House Hufflepuff? No, I did the Pottermore test. I was a Gryffindor. Get fucked. My Patronus is a Thestral. Thank you, Miss Maple Syrup. Enjoy your class. I do want to try and introduce more longer format videos, but they are quite challenging. So Nico, Chantal, Amber are quite tricky because they are very taxing. I want to be able to record more during the day. With my sisters moving in, that might be difficult. I record at night, so I do want to be able to record during the day instead because I'm wide awake and I have the time after work before another job where I could just make videos. And I'd like to do that. So I will try once they move in, once I've got them, because one of them is helping me soundproof the house because they know they're loud, they know their kids are loud, they know my other sister is a fucking gobby man-hating shit who doesn't respect boundaries in the slightest, to the point where I have to put a lock on my door to stop her coming in here. Seriously. It might be a case that I won't be able to be able to make these longer format videos, but I do want to try because I really want to. I think people appreciate that more. I don't know as much about Nico Carter as everyone else does, by the way. But I promised I'd make him because others asked me. So we'll see how that goes. As the ghost poo is on, and I just wanted to reminisce. Hello, Hannah. Trisha Paytas bullying Nico Cardo. I heard about this on Twitter, Hannah, but I don't actually know what happened. If you're on Twitter, hit me up and tell me what happened, because I really don't know. Are my response videos bad now? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll answer some questions for a bit, because I think that'd be a good idea. Response videos are not bad now. I just don't do them. Thank you, Stargazer. I don't do them myself, but I'm not against others doing them. I'm not moving anywhere, Heather. My sisters are moving here. Basically, I lived here with one of my sisters. That sister bought this house, but the house wasn't suitable for her disabled son. Her son being the one that was born in the car crash a few years ago that, took my mother. She has moved into a bungalow. Thank you, Hannah. And that bungalow is monstrous. Perfect for them. Perfect for what the boy needs. It's a shame they're not here because I miss him. He's adorable. Okay. I'm teaching him sign language. I've got him to do one where he does similar to Cut You Can't See Me, but he sticks his tongue out and rubs it on his face, which is just hilarious. Making the sound blah, 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 blah. It's very adorable. The other two sisters live in a maisonette with a very noisy neighbour downstairs. And so they're moving into this house because there are 2 spare bedrooms. So why not? The only issue I have is they know I've been looking after their dogs for 7 years. They now need to look after their dogs. So I can now live my life without having to care for other people's pets that I have done for 7 damn years. Will you play your guitar sometime, Omegon, in a stream or a vid? I'll tell you what. I will... Okay. I will... For 1 second... Oh, that was loud. That's all you get, because I'm using my finger. I can't do that. Fuck that. And that was like the intro to Swing Swing. Yes, we should sometime, Tailed, actually, because I know you're quite a multi-instrumentalist. No, the dogs aren't mine. They're my sister's dogs, but they didn't live here, so I was looking after their dogs. Because this place is the only place with a garden big enough. Basically, I was just doing the right thing and making sure they were cared for. Because I'm that kind of person, apparently. And I know it was a joke. I just thought I'd clarify, because I'm not... I don't want to lead anyone on, or lead, call me maybe. Okay, I'm timing you out for that, Talon. You should be ashamed of yourself. No, I'll do it later, fuck it. When we jamming, I don't mind when. Do a Rhodes solo from Tribute. Weirdly, on the subject of Rhodes, I actually have a Jackson Rhodes up on the shelf behind me. It's quite nice. I do think response videos could... they still have a function. They're not bad. I think they're seen as bad if they're, just people attacking people, because that's what it was. A lot of channels just existed to attack. But there's nothing inherently wrong with that. At the same time, I guess it's how you deliver it. And Green Day are very... Hang on. If I remember correctly... Hang on, I'll get up. Where's a pick? Right, so Green Day are lazy because they just do one chord. So that's one chord. I know that wasn't strummed correctly. I'm reaching over, okay? It's not comfortable. But seriously, the Green Day are like... Okay, so in England we have a band called Status Quo. And they're known for only using 3 chords. Come on. It's just lazy. I don't personally mind my sisters that much. It's just the noise part. None of them possess a volume control. And I've told them many times to shut the fuck up. Biggest gig... Oh, by the way, to just say, I don't mind Green Day personally. I went to the Milton Keynes? I went to the Bullet in the Bible gig that was recorded. I can't remember where it was. It may still be Milton Keynes. I get them confused. Oh, dear God. Where in the UK are you from? Right, so I was born in Crawley, West Sussex, but raised in... Well, first 4 years there, Crawley, Smallfield, Surrey, and Reigate, Surrey, for most of those years. I've lived in, where I live now for 7 years, much against my... Milton Keynes, thank you. Spelled Keynes wrong, there's a Y in there somewhere. After the E before the N. I lived in a seaside town for 7 years. When you spend as much time as unemployed as I did here, you learn to hate the place. So it's still taking me time to learn to appreciate it again. But give it time. And they are good live. I was sad. Would you rather eat pineapple pizza or watch Sailor Moon? I would much rather be the person that plucked your eyebrows. How's that? I'm kidding. I'd wax your beard. Yeah. Oh dear, I think I'm... Oh, hang on. Did you see the party political broadcast by Lib Dems? Are you surprised at how many voters they have gotten? I have not seen it. At all. I don't pay attention to party political broadcasts. And now people are talking about pineapple on pizza, dear God. Disgusting. Ho-hum. I think this stream served the purpose I needed it to serve, in the sense I just wanted to be able to talk a bit about where we came from, what motivated me, what things were like and what they're like now. Hello, Tiki Doll. And what I intend to do. I intend to keep going, because I quite enjoyed this. I've enjoyed what I've accomplished, and I hope to be able to continue doing that. Is it? I'll have a look at it, Eliza. I don't want drunken uncle on pizza, you're quite right. I think we're done here. Yeah. By the way, just as a thing, the Streamlabs goal currently is to send a snowball to Germany, to a friend of mine. The next goal is a loftier one, because apparently I should do this. I'm Reese. I'm going to end in a minute. I'm sorry. I'm going to be trying to go on what apparently is called a vacation. I'm doing air quotes here, because I haven't been on one since I was 11. I've been told that should be the next one by, I think, Karma. So that's the next one. That's going to take a while. Hey, I can wait, though. If it takes 11 years... Or, no, technically for me it's 22. I can wait 22 years. That's all good. I'll do that next. I'll set that up later. Thank you all very much for dropping by. I hope this wasn't too much cringe for you. I hope maybe I can improve the quality of these streams as well, because I know these images aren't exactly... I don't know. It's a bit... Well, I was going to go with my chibi version, but, I'm in a tutu, so perhaps not. I need to fix that. Thank you all very much for joining me. There will be a video up tomorrow. It might be late, because I'm not going to record tonight, because I'm tired. Just the right amount of cringe, thank you. Cringe indeed. Have a lovely evening, everyone, and thank you all very much for the last 4 years.